I'm going to call the meeting to order at 7:02 p.m. Could I have a roll call, please, starting with Emily on the,
Emily Fine,
and you are remote.
remote, yes.
Mike Potshead, present.
Veronica Cal present.
Selena Thomas, present.
All right. So thank you, everybody. The meeting is being recorded by TCAM and it'll be uploaded to YouTube. Is there anybody else who is recording? Okay, seeing none. I have no additions or deletions. Does anybody else? No. All right, so the next thing is to review the minutes of 8/28, which Emily so kindly wrote. And I don't know if people need a few minutes to take a look or.
I read them.
Yep, I looked this
You're
afternoon.
good. So did I. All right.
Very detailed and clear.
Yes.
Thanks.
So is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes for August 28th?
So moved.
Second?
Is there any discussion? All right, so roll call vote for approving the minutes, beginning with Emily, and we will need to do a roll call vote because we have a remote member, so.
Sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine.
So yes, approve.
Emily Fine approved.
Emily
Okay.
Fine, yes.
Mike Potshead, yes.
Selena Thomas, yes.
And Veronica Kell, yes. All right, so the minutes are approved, and I will send them to the town clerk to file. All right, the site walk on October 9th. I put discussion of the site walk, so anything that anybody wants to say, add, comment on, etc.
Thought it went well, very well. And the turtle I planted.
Perfect. Couldn't have been better.
Yeah, no, and they seem to enjoy the place, so have we had any feedback from them?
Just that one, no, not directly, but the letter from Dave Vigeant where Anna Wilkins asked a few questions about the water, the well.
Right.
Other than that, no, I haven't gotten any, but they weren't supposed to meet until next week, the land committee. So we're meeting a week prior, but anyway, so no comments from them, or from anybody really. Anybody else hear anything? No. Any other comments on the site walk? I thought it went great.
Yeah.
I really did. I mean, it went as well as it could have gone. So
Yeah.
We'll have to see, including the planted turtle.
But the other thing was the statement from the Nashua River Watershed representative too.
Marissa?
Yeah, I think that was really helpful. So
Right.
fingers crossed.
Yes. I will get in contact with Anna within the next few days and see, if she has any further, I guess the question is, when can we anticipate hearing from them?
And it was nice that you pointed out that knowledge of the location is now worldwide thanks to Simon Montgomery's books that are in many languages.
Oh, yeah. Except it's not,
Right.
it's somewhere in New Hampshire. so. In a town called Torrington.
All right, anything else on 2.1? Going on to 2.2, review of the funding sources. In the packet was the Massachusetts Land and Water Conservation Fund Grant Program. James Gates sent this to me. And I thought, this could work. So I signed up to go on, I think it's November 17th, to the in-person presentation of the grant, what they're looking for, how they want things answered, all that. And it's at the Fish and Wildlife Office in Westboro. Anybody can sign up for it. So there's a link in that email that if you're interested, feel free. There's also a virtual date. Don't quote me, I think it's December 2nd. I think November 17th was the in-person and December 2nd was the virtual, if I remember right. If someone wants to go to that link in that email. Yeah. And all you have to do is send her an email and say you're interested, and they'll put you on the list to, for being there in person or for the Zoom link. So, is it December 2nd? Is that the right day? Not found yet, huh?
There it is. Just found.
Okay.
Okay. November 17th and December 3rd.
December 3rd,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm a day off, but, so you can just, send an email and get signed up if you're interested, because that's another possible funding source. So, and just looking, in the minutes,
There was also the Freedom's Way. I think that was the one in the minutes, maybe?
yeah, Freedom's Way was in the minutes. I don't think this one was. It was Environmental Protection and Animal Welfare, the Wild and Scenic Stewardship Council, the Marion Stoddard,
Yep.
which we can apply for at any time. NHESP funding for maintenance, I don't know how common that is. And then NRCS, I'm not sure what that is. Does anybody know? Nashua River, no. CS. I don't know what that is.
Let's see.
Natural Resources Conservation Service.
Okay. Natural resources. So I think that our next thing, once we find out whether that we have a CR holder, is to start working on applications for this in addition to the CR. And I'm going to wait. You guys can weigh in on this. Well, for funding sources, I'll go to the next topic in a minute. For funding sources, my two favorites are the Marion Stoddard, for starters, and if we qualify the DFW Land and Water Grant, which I read through what it was for, and I think having the soccer fields there is a good thing.
The one that James sent you?
Yes.
Yeah, so that one, the eligible projects, it says acquisition of parkland or conservation land, so that doesn't count.
Right.
Creation of a new park, renovations to existing parks.
That's where I was thinking, yeah, that would be the choice, and,
But TESA cannot apply, it would have to be applied through by the town. Yep.
yeah. So that would be a question for them at the thing.
Yep.
So, but it's a possibility.
Yeah.
So anyway,
The Freedom's Way grant that was, mentioned at some point in the past.
mhm,
The cycle opened for the 2026 funding on October 1st, and it goes through April 15th on a rolling basis. So that one might be worth digging into a little bit more.
okay. Freedom's Way. So as far as amounts, it's 3,500 for the legal defense fund and $50 per acre.
Wait a minute, can you say that again?
For if in fact, North County is our CR holder, it is 3,500 for the legal defense fund and $50 per acre.
And there's 40 some odd acres, if I recall.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I thought I heard.
What about, the, marking out the plot? I'm trying
The
to-
survey,
Yeah, the survey,
a survey will probably be around 8,000 is my guess, 8 to 12.
8 to 12.
That's my guess. And the BDR, baseline documentation, report that you have to do for a CR, my guess is that will be around 5,000. That's usually walking they'll initially walk the entire property, and at every corner or significant marker, they'll take a picture and, document what it looks like and what is there. I know I've only ever done it with New England Forestry Foundation, and they have software. They walk with a iPad or whatever, and a tablet, and they do it on maps, and then there's software that creates these, and then they give you a report. So
So we're looking at 18,000 to 22,000 total?
Yeah, this is an estimate, but yeah, I would say 30,000 max is what we're looking for.
Okay.
I think 18 is low. When you have a survey and a BDR, and then for the stewardship funds, that,
Well,
we
did
didn't-
the 3,500 plus the 2,000, which is $50 an acre times 40 acres?
I did times 50 acres and did 2,500.
Oh,
I guess it
all right,
depends.
so
on
we'll call that
what we do
2,500.
As far as what goes into the CR, what is outside of the CR, if anything, so. That'll make a difference. So, yeah, so what do you get for it, Emily?
18,500 too. If it's 12,000 for the survey instead of 8,000, it would be 22,500.
Okay,
And that's including 5,000 for the BDR,
okay,
the survey, the acreage thing, and the 3,500.
okay. And we could always, if that's too high or whatever, we could, apply to a couple different places for different things.
Wait, my math is wrong. Wait.
Yeah, I get 23.
Yes, it's 19,000 or 23,000.
Okay,
19,000 to 23,000.
okay. All right, so I think after we know if we have a CR holder, we start looking at these and working on applications.
Yeah.
So,
And is that something that, is it Kieran? Kieran.
that would be really nice. I'll have to talk to him and see, but yeah. It's the town's property, so
Right.
it would make sense that he would do it, so I'll talk to him about it. And I've been kind of waiting until we were certain, but I'll talk to him. So, I might also make a report at the, next select board meeting, so that people are aware that we would need the grant funding. I've been waiting though, I don't want to do it until we're certain. So, I don't know, what do you guys think?
Yeah, because there's no point in going forward with all of these costs if we don't have a CR holder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right, the next one is the CR document, for review, and unless there's anything else to say about grants, I'm sorry. I kind of preempted that. All right, the next is the CR document. And it looks to me, I put a link in an email. Did you guys get an email from Sabrina with the saying, hey, here's what's going to be on the agenda? And did you get that email?
I didn't notice it.
I did, but I think I deleted it because we got the
Okay.
agenda.
That's all right. I was just wondering. In there, I put the link to it's the same link to the CR program at EOEEA or whatever they're called now. And the reviewer has changed from the person that I was trying to contact in September. There's a different name there for the person who's the reviewer. And they also have a thing in there saying that anything that's in now is good to go, but they're not going to be reviewing until after January for new ones, for new CRs, which is kind of perfect timing for us. So if in fact we get a positive response, it would be good to have the CR document in their hands early January. So just think about that for timeline.
During the site walk, didn't they say that they might want to use their own CR
Yes.
document?
Yeah,
Okay.
and Anna said that she had already made some revisions, I think.
Yes.
So, yeah, they weren't thrilled with template, it sounded like.
The template that we used was the one from
Misa.
Misa. And
But we don't have to use that one.
no, we don't. No. And so they're probably using the standard document, the one that you get from the mass.gov website. And that is good, in my opinion. It's good to have that. We want to have the CR through EOEEA. It has more teeth in it than the MISA one. So more backing from the state than the other one, in my opinion. They should both be equal, but so we'll see what they provide, if in fact. So I haven't done any changes to it, although we did get you the map that you sent and all that.
Yeah, and I think the only things I had changed, and it wasn't changes, I made some comments that there's some like dates in here that we need to double check are accurate kind of thing.
Okay. So that's for that. And let me see, was there one other thing? Oh, I wanted to talk about since we're on the CR, Anna's questions to the water department. So were there any questions about that? What was interesting to me was that they aren't going to use the access road at the far end. They say that they're going to use the one over the pipeline from Horseshoe, that kind of narrow piece.
But it was on the far end.
On the far end, not the one that's down here where the soccer fields are, but down at the far end. So that was news to me. So did you see that, Emily?
Yeah,
It's
I'm not sure where that access road is.
It's in the pictures. You can see it in the pictures. It's the little tiny piece that comes in like this from the house. There's maybe 3 of them or 4, there's more than one.
So it's between lots 3 and 4. Let me see if I can pull up there's the map. All right, let me see if I can share it. I'm not able to share it.
TKM, are you there? Could you give, if you are, could you give Selena sharing ability?
Is that Hartley?
Is it Hartley?
Yeah, Hartley was in here earlier.
Was he? Hartley, are you there?
Yes, and I just gave her sharing capabilities.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Now without seeing. He's gonna have the right numbers. Oh yeah, so the 35.1.2.3. So lot 3 is 35.3 and lot 4 is this 35.4, I believe.
Mhm.
And this is the skinny,
So it's not the one at the very end?
no, it's not.
I think, I wouldn't have expected, what surprised me about that is that they're coming in through the development as
Yeah.
opposed to, where, up at the end of the lots, you know, where the long skinny lots are right in there.
So did he say the roadway was going
He
there
said,
or just the pipeline?
The
Well,
8-inch
you know-
water line for the well coming off Horseshoe, yeah, between, so 8-inch water line.
Yeah, so I,
and then in number 6, it says the access road, it says, and be extended over the pipeline from Horseshoe when installed. Instead, I thought that was the access road will be extended over the pipeline from Horseshoe when installed, instead of Mason Road, to limit disturbance, or the pipe located under the access road to Mason Road. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but
Yeah.
I read that and I thought, really? They would come in through there
instead of coming off of Mason.
instead of coming off of Mason? I don't know, did you guys read it differently?
When installed instead of Mason, to limit disturbance, or the pipe located under the access road to Mason.
To limit-
Disturbance of the pipe?
I should maybe ask.
Follow-up question, yeah.
What does this mean? To me, it sounded to me, just taking it in context, it sounded to me like there would be a pipe going out to Mason Road, in that access road, but they wouldn't use that as the access road to the well. They would use the little piece there, which does.
But that sort of contradicts number 2. The 8-inch water line between houses 20 and 22. So the water line will be in the narrow one. And then the access road to be extended over the pipeline from Horse, installed instead of Mason Road.
To limit disturbance to the pipe
Yeah,
located?
that seems to indicate that the access road is gonna go over the well, over that pipe.
In the skinny part, not off of Horseshoe Drive, rather than off of Mason Road.
Right.
Makes me wonder if there's enough space there for
A road.
a road.
The access road.
And can we make it? Is there 60 feet there? You either need 40 or 60. I can't remember which it is.
Well, if it's just like a driveway, it wouldn't be a public road, would it?
No, well, it would be, I mean, public wouldn't necessarily be going down it, but it would be the water department trucks.
Right, and they're not tiny.
I can't tell how much feet that is.
Yeah, it almost looks like it's 25 feet, which would say that's enough.
There. It's probably enough for the trucks, but
Yeah.
is it enough for an official? And maybe it doesn't count if it's for municipal services. Anyway.
Yeah, it looks like it's 25.07
Okay.
feet,
Anyway,
because this one is 20 and this one is 25.02.
right.
So yeah,
And it just surprised me that they would be coming off of Horseshoe Drive
Yeah.
rather than off of Mason Road. That's all.
That does avoid the vernal pool, though.
it does.
It does, yes, it does. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, and well, either way, it's gonna be a disturbance on the nesting habitat, but
And it won't be within the next 5 years.
Yep.
I think it's probably closer to 10, but he knows his stuff, not me.
yeah,
So,
Said it'll be on the new master plan.
mhm.
So do we know when the new master plan comes out?
They're working on it in the capital plan for this fiscal year.
Okay.
There was money to develop a new master plan. So I don't know at what point, but that,
Probably
Was
within the next
funded.
year.
yes, yeah, it was funded, so. So anyway, their questions were on
The second
the
page.
second page. And
just on, there was one place when I was reading his responses. Wait, let me see if I can find it now. I don't know. Oh, the 400-foot radius area will have very limited access to human activity unless it is for maintaining the well. I'm assuming that,
Well, he pointed to this town bylaws for water. So, those were the things that we looked at to add to the CR when we were doing it. So I think it matched.
okay. And
yeah,
in,
I think so.
and in
And-
number 7, it says there would be a turtle plan involved. So I'm assuming that the activity involved in protecting the nests would be allowed within that 400-foot radius.
That's a good question, but I would assume the same thing. I think
Okay.
that when he says, limited activity, human activity, I think he's talking about if you're gonna hike or play
Right.
ball or go
Okay.
running or whatever, you wouldn't be able to do it in that area.
Okay.
That's the way I read that.
Do I remember correctly that some of those little strips between the houses already have pipes in them?
Yes.
Well, going back to 6, if that or becomes an of, it limits the disturbance of the pipe located under the access road to Mason Road. So maybe there is already a pipe
Yeah, I think,
under that wider strip at the far end.
so I believe they had said that there was one between 3 and 4 and another pipe between 14 and 15 already present
Okay,
the last time he was on the phone.
do
that
either
one
of
time.
those go to Mason?
They both go to Horseshoe.
They both go to Horseshoe?
Yeah.
Well, it still doesn't make any sense then.
I don't know, unless they're thinking it'll be a wider pipe in that bigger access road that goes out to Mason Road and joins some other
Hmm.
pipeline on the road, and that the skinny ones go to provide to Horseshoe Drive. I don't know. I honestly don't know. So, yeah. So, I just wanted everybody to see this and to see that they were asking questions, so.
Yes.
I did send email to Beth Faxon, the, planning board admin. I had wanted to know, Anna had asked, maybe at the site walk, or maybe it was at our meeting, I'm not sure. If there was Article 97 land, if there was ever a vote to make that Article 97 land. And so I asked Beth for that, and they were busy doing the MBTA bylaw, and I think I'm gonna ping her again. I'm willing to go in and look through minutes and see. I mean, back when this was done, the minutes were taken in books, handwritten in books.
So was she saying that it is not currently marked as such on this
Yeah.
map?
Yeah. That's what she was saying. And she wanted to know if a vote had ever been taken for that at the time that this development was put in place or permitted or whatever. So.
Very touchy.
Mhm.
It looks like it is
It is.
Article
It is
97.
fine, yeah.
Yeah, open space Article
Article
97.
97.
But maybe Mass Mapper doesn't always have the absolute official
That's true.
information, but
On
it looks like it.
Mapper.
all 4 parcels are Article 97.
That's open space. I know that some of it is fish and game, I think, on that. The one piece.
So this is the entryway piece that
Okay,
currently Tesa uses. With you can see the driveway underneath.
yep.
So the Tesa Field 1 is over here, Tesa Field 2 is right here. But
Mhm.
I mean, these are the 4 parcels,
It is,
and it's all marked.
Article 97.
But that's a light green compared to the darker greens. So are you sure?
Yeah, because when I clicked on it, when you click on it, it tells you Article 97.
Huh.
But that's true, there should be
I think
a
that,
key or a legend or something that shows why the different colors.
my
I
guess is the
think-
light green is town and the dark green is fish and game.
I think this is forest or wetland. If you look underneath, I think the reason it's darker green is because it's got blue under it. It's got this
Ah.
wetland coloring
Okay,
underneath it.
So if you remove the article, open space, Article 97, that green should disappear?
Yes. The dots. It's the dots that make
The
it the
dots,
article.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the green is just the color of the parcel to say this is like a park.
Okay,
And I'm guessing this is the cemetery Dudley Road
Yeah.
Cemetery. So it's,
so if the light green, you can't see me pointing, but the light green stuff is town owned on this, even if you go to where the Main Street well area is across 119. and-
over here, the pump
Yeah.
station.
Yeah.
So this parcel, it doesn't really say.
Mm. Is that
But I
the
bet
one
it's-
that's an unknown owner, or, I don't know, anyway,
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not certain.
It's right along the river.
Mhm. Anyway, okay,
But yeah.
well,
on
good,
Mass
so
Mapper.
maybe I don't need, on Mass Mapper it is. So, okay, cool. Maybe I
well,
don't have
but
to
it could
sit
be,
and
you
go
could be
through
right,
minutes.
that maybe they haven't caught up with reality.
Yeah,
You
I will
can
confirm.
use AI to ask if they can find minutes for you on open space meeting, like, and then,
Really?
and then you'll know exactly what dates it pops up, and you can go in and look at those specifically, and you
Oh.
might find it faster that way.
Thing sitting there. But,
Yes.
But these are from like early 2000s.
As long as they're online, it'll,
I don't think it's online.
then it won't work.
My guess is it's not online. Because we didn't have that then. Anything before 2010 is probably not
Probably not.
necessarily online. I know I've had to look through in the
The
town
books.
clerk's office, I've had to get the books and look through to get answers to questions, so. Anyway, all right, so that was everything that I had.
While we were on the walk, James Gates expressed the desire that somehow built into the restrictions that there would be, allowed some kind of forest management plan so that he could, he was especially interested in cutting down some of those small trees on the embankment, adjacent to the parking area. And I don't know all the different forest management plans, so I don't know which one would apply to this situation like this. But that was his desire anyway.
Yeah, Martin. I think that's part of the, maybe Emily can talk about this more, the management plan that was in place for habitat, for habitat management.
Right, that sounds, yeah, well, she can explain, but it doesn't sound like it would.
Yeah,
cover
it didn't, and it did not involve using any sorts of power tools. So um, it was not as big a project as what James is talking about. So all that we did with our habitat maintenance was work on removing a lot of the small trees and saplings from the sandy slopes. And on the lower flat, cutting down some of those white pines that have been growing up. But we did not, in our plan, deal with those huge pine trees that are on the slope along the access road.
I don't think it was the huge trees he was interested in. I think it's all of the saplings that have grown up in the last 5-ish years.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, maybe a little more than 5, but they weren't full-grown trees
Yeah,
that he
they're
was
not
talking
the,
about, right?
right. But those pine trees are growing quickly, so
Yeah.
they're bigger than we could manage with just hand tools at this point. And I know that our RDA said that we had to use hand tools only.
Now,
So-
do you think though that they would, if it was not nesting season, if NHESP or whomever would allow, equipment on there? I don't know, I mean.
Oh, I think so. I think so, but the reason I'm pretty sure that it said that we couldn't use any power tools was someone from the water department was
Right.
very concerned that there would be, that we would spill gasoline or something. I don't know. So we agreed that we would only use hand tools at that time.
Okay,
But the place that James is talking about is outside of that 400-foot area.
right. Well, maybe that's something we need to consider.
But it
So-
would be in the area of the conservation restriction.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
So back before I started working on this project with TESA, they were in talks with NAGSP about doing a yearly habitat management plan to help maintain optimal vegetation and habitat quality and expand known nesting habitats.
Right. The thing I did, I don't think that was the big plan. That was to to at least get started on some habitat maintenance, and we were given permission to, I know there was the understanding that we would do this several times, not just that once. But I wasn't under the impression that this was a permanent, official, long-term maintenance plan. I just wasn't under that impression that it was, I think I would look at that original thing that I wrote up as, sort of the start of a, more permanent type of thing. It's sort of a work in progress.
Mhm.
Because what James is talking about is, because there hadn't been any habitat maintenance for, I'd say, 20 years, a lot of what used to be nesting habitat is no longer nesting habitat. Like we used to get snapper nests above the access road, on the little hill up there, and I haven't found any nests there in several years. And it's because of all the trees that have grown up. But I didn't even address that in my plan. So maybe what needs to be done is a new plan that is all encompassing, needs to be written up.
Would that be outside of the conservation restriction, or would that be part of the conservation restriction?
Um, I don't know. I suppose we need to talk with North County Land Trust to figure out what they would want as far as detailed description of the types of habitat maintenance that would be done. Because the original stuff that I wrote up was much more, it was much smaller in its scope, simply because there weren't many of us available to do the work. I can't clear a forest, um, so I didn't even go there.
okay. I think this is something that we talk to North County about at this
Okay.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Since it seems they're going to take from our template and translate it into the new template, or they might have to change the wording or something, and then they just would have to add something for this,
mhm.
if they're amenable to it.
And for that, if I remember, Emily, it required an RDA with the
Yes.
Conservation Commission, and NHESP had to sign off on it, or they consulted on it. on what was in the plan.
Right.
So maybe something like that gets written in, you know, for a certain period of time or some such thing. And as far as a bigger forestry management plan, that might be part of it too. I don't know. So something to talk to them about, I think, if that's what we want to happen on it.
Okay.
All right. So next meeting, I know that holidays are coming up, and it should be after after their land meeting.
Yeah.
So I'll find out when that is from Anna, but I was wondering when people were available. And this is after, then we can talk about agenda. I guess I jumped to, 2.5, and we haven't done 2.4 yet, but what looks good for meetings for people?
What about 2 weeks from tonight, which would be the 20th?
I have a meeting from noon to 6 that day here. So if we started at 7, that should be okay.
Oh.
So does that work for everybody?
Yep.
And that gets us in before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's set that tentative. And can we pick one more for December? Because I'm around for part of, but not all of December.
How about the 4th? So we go every 2 weeks for a little bit.
Okay, let's do the 4th.
Yep.
If that works for Michael. All right.
So the November date is the
20th.
20th.
All right, and the agenda for the next meeting. Hopefully we have a report on the results from the site walk and the land committee and all of that. And then we can go from there, take their CR and talk, sit with them and talk about that, figure out, what we want to go for grants.
You could also talk about, you're gonna go to that meeting on the 17th, right?
Yes, yeah.
So maybe you could tell us about that one.
All right. And then the CR itself. And maybe we'll do things differently. If we do have the CR holder, we're gonna wanna meet with them and talk about things, so. All right. Anything else?
So what are the agenda items again? I would just want to,
Report on whether or not we have a CR holder. The CR itself, if we do have a CR holder, what's the template now? What,
Review what they have.
review what they have, with what we have. And then, grants, me reporting on the meeting from the 17th, and then anything else. If in fact we do have a CR holder, I'll talk to Karen, or I'll probably bring it up at the next, I think we meet on the 19th, the select board does. So hopefully I know by then, and we can, and I can talk about using our grant writer for that, so.
and underneath it, for the CR template, we should also talk about that forestry plan.
Okay.
Or even just habitat management plan.
Yeah,
Okay.
management plan to include clearing more sandy slope.
And I can talk with James and try and get a better
Okay.
idea of exactly what he is thinking,
Mm.
because I know he's mentioned it in passing. So I'll actually write some things down.
All right,
Okay, that looks good.
all right, last thing, motion to adjourn
I motion we adjourn.
Second?
at 7:52 p.m. All right, roll call vote, starting with remote.
Emily Fine, yes?
Mike Fox said yes?
Veronica Kell, yes?
Selena Thomas, yes.